show you the basic idea behind setting up events. So let's assume you've already logged into your administrative area for your club or organization. So the first thing you do is you select the events menu option, where you're presented with a list of all the events that you've already have configured. In this case we have one already set up. So to add a new event, we're going to click the add new event button here on the right hand side. It presents us with a form where we fill out the details about our event. So we give it a name. In this case we're going to set up an event called Winter League. Let me see, takes place at our show grounds starting at 7 p.m. The name and the description of the event that you type here is what gets presented to your users when they are on your public page when they go to enter. A couple of other fields you need to fill out. So there's a field called email notifications. You can enter one or more email addresses here, use a comma to separate if you have more than one address. Whatever email addresses you type in here, then each time somebody submits an entry to this event, the details of that entry will be copied to the people whose email addresses are here. In this case we leave it blank for the moment. So what date? You specify the date of the event. So the event in this case, let's say it's taking place on the 31st of January. We want entries to be open today, and we want entries to close a couple of days before the event actually takes place. So let's say we'll close the entries 2 days beforehand at noon. There are other fields here you can set up at your event. We'll skip over them for the moment and we can explain them in more detail in other videos. So you add your event. So now you'll see we have a new event in here called Winter League. However, we're not finished yet because we haven't specified what are the activities within that event. So let's say, for example, there is an under 10s competition. So we're going to take under 10 competition, and let's say this is open to all children under the age of 10 on the 1st of January. Again, the information you type here will be presented to your users when they are, or the people as they submit entries. So it's under 10. You can give a short description. You have to say what application form. Now we'll talk about application forms in another video, but we're just going to use a default application form. You can limit the number of entries. So let's say this was only open to 20 entries. Then you can say yes to limit the number of entries, and you specify how many. And what the system will do is, as soon as you've received 20 entries, it'll automatically close entries for this competition, even if the closing date specified for the event hasn't yet been reached. Terms and conditions, if you set that to yes, then this will result in whatever you type in this box. So these are our terms and conditions, etc., etc. So if you have terms and conditions, put them in here, and then what happens is when somebody is submitting an entry to this under 10 competition, they won't be allowed to submit the entry unless they've selected the checkbox to say that they agree to the terms and conditions as you've laid out here. You have to specify the entry fee. So let's say it is €20 to enter. You can indicate whether people can enter by credit card, they can enter by check, or both. In this case we just go by credit card. Handling fee included, yes or no. So if the handling fee included is no, then when the person is paying the €20, they'll actually be, the credit card handling fee will be added on to the €20, so they'll pay €20 and 80 cents, let's say, and then 80 cents goes to Stripe and €20 will go to your club's bank account. If on the other hand you set handling fee included equals yes, then the person when they check out will only pay the €20. However, the 80 cents or whatever it is for Stripe will be taken off that, so you'll only get €19 and 20 cents into your club's bank account. Underneath the handling fee included field, you see there's a field called check/offline payment instructions. If you had said by check or offline only, then whatever you type in here will automatically be included in the confirmation email that's sent to somebody when they enter. So it could be, please send your checks to, and you specify an address, and then make them payable to, and you specify a name. Or it could be that if you want them to do an online bank transfer, you could put the IBAN details of your bank. So that's where you indicate how much it costs to enter this competition. You'll see we also have another feature here where for certain things like more expensive items you can create what's called a payment plan to pay in installments. We're not going to demonstrate that here, but again that will be shown in another video. So we'll add that competition. So now we have our Winter League and we have under 10s. So let's say we also want to add an under 12s. So we could go through the procedure of typing everything in again, or we can use the clone option here. So if I click clone, it takes a copy of that one, and then I can go and just edit the details that are different between under 10 and under 12. Everything else is the same. Well, let's say you only have 10 entries for under 12, and then you click add, and now you've got two events. Sorry, you've got one event set up called Winter League, and you've got two activities within it. If we click on your go to public page, so let's see how this is presented to your users. You'll see we've now got Winter League, takes place at our showground starting at 7 p.m. and we've got two options, under 10 and under 12, and you'll see it's currently telling you that there are 20 places left and 10 places left. As people enter, these numbers will automatically change, and then if, for example, you receive 10 entries for under 12, and that will automatically be grayed out then, and it'll be no longer available. So that's the very quick introduction to how you set up events and competitions and activities within an event. Thank you.